As Easter approaches, the skies in Barbados come alive with vibrant displays of bat kites and Bajan paste kites, all in an array of colors, shapes, and sizes. From the most intricate designs to the biggest structures, kite flying is a cherished pastime deeply woven into the island's culture and heritage. Every year, many venture with their kites to the nearest open playing field or popular spots like the scenic botanical gardens and the historic Garrison Savannah. These spaces become lively hubs where families and friends enjoy the outdoors, togetherness, and the spectacle in the sky. In recent times, there's the convenience of buying ready-made creations from roadside vendors or from some supermarkets and stores. However, there are still those who find joy in the hands-on craft of making and testing their skills with each attempt to send their designs soaring. Jah Wolf is among the skilled artisans keeping the tradition of Bajan paste kites alive.
My name is Hugh from Franklyn, alias Jah Wolf. I got into kite making and flying due to my dad. The first set of competitions that was held in Barbados was taking place on the Hastings Rocks. He used to make kites for competition, and that sort of got me off to the start of kite making and flying.
Though kite making is not unique to Barbados, there are distinct elements that set a Bajan kite apart.
A Bajan paste kite is made from like wood. You frame it out. It can either be 3 or 4 sticks, right? And then you put your paper on. Really, you can use a bed sheet or an old piece of rag or anything like that. You put your hands on, you can tear, and you can make your tail out of that. And the looping must be good. If you don't loop the kite properly, then you won't get a good balance. And the frame must be light in order to get good aerodynamics and things like that.
One of the most iconic features is the bull, which creates that familiar hum as the kite dances in the wind.
Flying kite in the earlier days, it was a joy, but you had to be very patient because there was no nylon or anything like that. So you had to fly kite with onion bags. You get the onion bags and you strand it out, tie it together, and you fly your kite with that. And then from there, you go on to herringbone or crochet. That was the first set of cord that you fly kite with. I mean, from a little boy through the window, you would steal mommy's bath towel, pull the cotton out, and you fly your kite with that till you can go outside where you can get the herring bags and things like that to make your cord and be on your own.
In a time when interest in kite flying has somewhat waned, people like Terry Mexican Arthur are dedicated to passing the torch.
Kite flying was a very big thing in Brazil. All of the big guys would teach the younger guys how to make kites, how to fly kites. That's where I met Jah Wolf as a little boy. He would make kites and I would get some of his kites. And to this day, we still enjoy flying kites and making kites. I remember taking a drive through the country and seeing some little youngsters, like really struggling, trying to get these kites to fly. And I just remember going home and saying, I think I should try to at least get some kites, give them, donate, just giving back, and at least let them come and fly and learn how to put in the loops, learn how to average how much tail, and just even kite flying as a skill, is, it's not just like standing there and holding it. If you're saying going down, there's certain things you got to do, pill, there's so much in the culture. And for me, who has come up in Britons Hill, which is really a very cultural community. When you think of Britons Hill, we had everything up there. Goat racing, horse racing, everything you could think of. So kite flying, and it's always been the older guys teaching the younger guys. So they wouldn't pass a little guy trying to put in loops and just walk past. They would stop and say, no, this is how you do it.
He has donated more than 700 kites in hopes of inspiring young Bajans to embrace this tradition.
Years gone by, you will find that the smallest child, he would be next to the big guy just waiting to be taught how to make and fly a kite. But the youth nowadays, they're not into that. It's just like the older folks now would take pride in making and flying a kite. I'm 67 now, and it's just still a joy for me to fly kite and to make kite. Around Easter time, Terry will come for me so that we can go to the garrison, fly kites with the little youngsters and teach them how to fly kite.
We did it in 2010 was the first year we did it. And we bought it's a mixture of Bajan kites, and we bought some back kites and other, pretty kites, especially for the younger girls and stuff. But we got 700 kites, or it was years we got over 1,000. We just came down here, we give them out sometimes for weeks. Started with the Easter weekend, right through. They had Easter camps, we would donate kites to the camp. Just a matter of giving back, man, and seeing the culture. It was good to see the children happy with just a simple kite. And there's something special about, for me, seeing a father and a son. The little son is trying to up the kite, and then he's running back to the dad to hold the kite. It's so much memories for me. So it's just a matter of passing on the culture.
Terry adds a sentimental touch to kite making, often working with Jah Wolf and other artisans to craft personalized messages on tribute kites for notable figures like Richard Stout, Alison Hines, and Rihanna.
We've done it for a number of people. What we do is we paste the kite, and then I would get pictures from Facebook, probably if they want something, and we would just put the pictures onto the kite, put some pretty flowers or something around it, and then we would get lots of people to sign it with best wishes and positive stuff. I actually did one of those kites for Rihanna, and I remember when I gave it to her mom. I went down to the store her mom had in town, and just the way how she looked at it, it was for me, it was to me it was just a kite, but I realized that she was looking at it
As though it was
something deeper than just having this kite. She told me, I got so much gifts for Rihanna from different people, but no one has ever given me something like this. I had pictures of Rihanna's grandmother, I had pictures of her dad, everybody on it. It was a beautiful kite. And when I saw, when Rihanna was getting ready to do the Super Bowl halftime show, and I saw the little clip, and Rihanna talking about kites. The culture in Westbury Road, that area is very big with kites. And it's only then, I said, this kite meant something deeper because she would have grown up seeing Rihanna flying kites. So it was something more than just a kite for her, right? Westbury, people that live, that's where they fly the kites. They would go in Westbury Cemetery and fly the kites because it's a big open area.
That's the only place now in Barbados that you find kites flying out throughout the whole year.
Right through the whole year.
Through the whole, you go to the funeral of Westbury, the kite flying.
So it seems to be something another
take over now from
down that side there with kites. It's very big. So the tribute kites that we do also very special. Almost everyone that has gotten one, has told me that they're going to cherish it. They have it put somewhere in the house where they can see it. They don't have it to fly, but they just have it put up in the house to treasure.
For some, kite making is purely a labor of love and a fond connection to their childhood. For others, like David, there was also the thrill of showmanship, competition, and a means of livelihood.
Well, my name is David Robinson. I'm a small businessman. I came in Parkinson Field, born and raised. And I get attached to making the little small pretty kites. And then one day this guy was flying a 4-foot kite. And I get the feeling of that. I say, nah, man, that was small kites, man. I like this thing pulling me. And I got attached to that. Those were the days when you used to paste kites with flour and water. And the cockroach would eat it out at night. And you get the money, you have to go do it all over again. That was fun. We used to make kites of the trash bone. We call it, it's like a form of cane. So trash bone is like, it used to be like a form of wild bush that grow with something in a stickish form that you could use to pin it together and frame it and form a kite and stick it down on the whole 9 yards, and that was back then. My personal kite was a 6 foot kite, black and green plastic.
Kite flying competitions had various categories that celebrated creativity, from the most colorful to the most colossal, the most complex to the most thought-provoking.
And I say, wow, but our competition days were days that the guys look for. And there's lots of other guys too that in terms of the pretty kites. There's a taxi guy they call him nickname by Froth. There's Peter Wilshire. There's another guy for the plane but these are the pretty kite men. I don't go on the category. They don't come in mine. I give them their respect and they give me my respect. I pass the pretty stage category long. That's not my thing. I ain't got that tendency, making one kite for 5 and 6 days. When I can make it one day and done. You know what I'm saying? But competition days were pleasant. It was a day. I remember walking down Darkyville. We had the whole roadblock with a kite. Going across to the garrison, the cars come past. The kite's coming down because there was myself and another guy out in out Dunside roadside that we used to class something's coming down. We used to come down from British Cross Road. There's a one-way street. We had to go to the gar walls. Easy over there with a stick and press this in the body hold the stick. We had the whole of Britain Cross Road taken up. When we get to that going back even now, cars had to stop. We had to tell cars stop to get over top cars. And then to go down by the corner. We get a little break when we get by the corner at Darkyville to go to Garrison, because the road is a bit wide. But we had the whole road taken up. So that alone, that coming to that height was great then. Then we get the Garrison up, people waiting for the big kites to come down. But the Garrison already full already. And the visitors came in and the guys with this. Actually, the guy that went the smallest kite on the Garrison, the first guy let out his kite and it flew. The next guy went ahead of his kite and the third guy went in his pocket for a matchbox. I took a kite out of the matchbox and let it out. And it flew on the Garrison in my presence. I saw that live. Take a kite out of a matchbox and let it out. I won first prize. The first guy thought he had the smallest kite. And kite flyers that, because I'm going to Garrison, I didn't feel what I'm saying clearly. You know there's a kite in a matchbox? Yes, I saw that. But the competition days were pleasant. I mean, because with me now, if I had a kite from Banks, I made Banks give me Banks t-shirts for that kite. The team that has on Banks t-shirts will fly the Banks kite. Columbia Emerald t-shirts will fly the Columbia Emerald's kite. Whoever got on Simpson Motors 1 year, Simpson Motors put in Garrison was like, wow, they had the biggest kite so far. The same kite that broke after. Yeah. Everybody had on Simpson Motors t-shirts. So a sponsor kite comes along with 10 or 20 t-shirts if the company have them. But my sponsorship was personal. We want to see what we can do out there for y'all in terms of kite. Like Simpson Motors kite was called It's a Family Affair. With all their vehicles on one kite. You know, so.
Some kite designers even use their creations to voice their perspectives on politics, sports, and national issues. Kite flying became as vibrant and dynamic as a calypso tune in the sky, and the Garrison Savannah was the grand stage.
My competition days, I started off, my first kite was when Benton win the first Gold Cup. The horse Benton, winner of 1980s. I remember that clearly. Winner of 1986 Cotsworth Gold Cup. I had that draw out in detail. You can see the horse here. You can see the horse. Because the artist that I had was Barbara's best, Winston Jordan. And this one is one I missed. That only Arthur sent for. So tell me what picture of that. So the ambulance came for this guy. And he asked, what is your name, sir? He said, my name is Mr. Arthur. So the guy said, we think you have a heart attack. I said, no, it's a heart attack. For the 10-15% lad, all we do is oi. So the Robinson, but not included. Columbia Emerald Sky, that was, I don't know where that came from. When I went to Columbia Emerald to sponsor Kite, the guy asked me, so what would you put on Kite for us? So I look up and say, precious gems in the sky. They say, you know what, I like that, I want that. So if you escape to big kites, little small kites meant nothing to me no more. Plus there were sponsor kites where the money was. It was like $2,000 per kite. But it was fun.
So, when you see a kite soaring above the beautiful Barbadian landscape, know that it is a symbol of generational ties, innovation, and creative expression. This coming Easter, whether you're a local or a visitor, embrace a beloved Bajan tradition that lets you take in the breathtaking beauty of Barbados while experiencing the heart of our culture. The Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. encourages you to practice safe kite flying in open spaces away from airports, power lines, and busy roads. Visit the Barbados Light and Power website at blpc.com.bb for more information on safe kite flying practices and approved fly zones. Let's keep this cherished tradition enjoyable and safe for all.